Okay, we got 2 people watching. No comments. Let everybody look outside while we're letting some people pop in here. Oops. Sorry about that. Hey, Truth in You, hi. Nobody else saying nothing. So we got 7 people in here so far. Only 1 person has commented. Me and Truth in You. Just trying to wait for enough people to get in here before we started looking at what I wanted to look at here. Truth in You, hi. Nobody else saying nothing. So we got 7 people. I'm trying to remember how to pull up the. There it is. Kip Maxwell. Hello, Kip. Mag 44. Well, we're only going to go over about an 8-minute video. I was just trying to get everybody in here that wanted to see it live so we could talk about it, because there is a bullet fragment that shows up in this video. It's a different video. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this started. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video. It's entitled Las Vegas Shooting, the CHM member story, Jeff Christenson. And the CHS stands for Christian Healthcare Ministries, which actually I happen to be a member of them also. It's like a insurance. It's that Obamacare approved stuff you can get, and it's very inexpensive. We didn't know how it was going to work for us, but after my heart attack, they paid out over $100,000 on my hospital bills and left us very little that we had to end up paying. So we were very happy to have had that coverage. And this guy also, Jeff, I guess it's pronounced Christenson. Christenson. I spelled, I mean, you think it would be Christensen, but it's Christenson. So anyway, let's watch this video. We're not gonna watch the whole entire video. It's an 8-minute video, but I've pulled out some timestamps. Let's listen to a little bit of this here. Y'all let me know once I started if you can hear it or not. Nope. Let me go back. It must be on mute. Get some volume on here. Let me pull it back. 12 seconds. Okay.
It's just complete insanity, and we just waited and prayed.
Jeffrey Christenson and his girlfriend Jenna Kroboth were feet from the stage at the Vegas Country Music Festival when shots rang out, triggering panic, chaos, and pandemonium.
After I done it, I guess I just went into shock.
So that's just kind of a little bit of the intro there. So y'all heard that. And he said he just kind of went into shock. So we're going to bump this up a little bit further right here. Let's see, now we're going to go to 102. I'm going to put the link after I get this up, the link to the full story, so y'all can go back and watch the full story on the whole thing.
We went to Vegas for the Route 91 Harvest Festival. It's a 3-day country festival. By Sunday, we were all kind of tired from the whole weekend, so we were just going to have, a mellow night, just go to the concert, not get all the way up to the front, but get close enough to where we can really see the whole band. Jason Aldean came on, and we went through a few songs, and that's when everything started happening.
Jeff was
So now they're fixing to start telling their story here. Not seeing any comments in here. So he just kind of gave you a little bit of the backstory on that. And now they're going to start to tell some details.
really short, so we're right in the front. And we heard, it sounded like maybe like 2 pops or so. And so my first thought was it was a firework. And so I'm like, we're at a concert, so last night maybe they're doing fireworks. We're in Vegas, I don't know. So I'm looking around, kind of like, where was it? And then it sounded like people off in the distance, like screaming off to the right. And then the pop started again. And then that's, I think, when my brother looked at us and said, it's gunfire.
I started.
So they were just kind of like everybody else. They felt like it was firecrackers at first. I really don't like that y'all can see me in that thing. So it was gunfire at first. They thought it was firecrackers. And then we said it ended up being, then they knew it was gunfire. Now they're going to go on and tell some more here about the sound of the bullets in the air and how they could hear them just coming right over them.
Seeing people get hit, so that's when we just yelled for everyone to get down, and everyone just hit the deck. I just remember laying there trying to get as low as possible because we were just hearing the bullets going over our heads.
It was like you could hear them like cutting the air like around you. It was a really like odd sound, like something I've never.
So let's go on. So the bullets, they heard the bullets in the air.
We were lying there for a while, and without even realizing it, I just started praying. It was just a reflex, and I didn't even think about it. I just kept praying for God to protect us. So we waited, and I was looking behind me.
Okay. Being a pastor, I thought that was a very important thing to throw in there about how they had decided to pray and ask God to protect them. So let's go on. Let's start here at the 3-minute mark. And this is when he talks about getting hit. So the next 40 seconds that I'm going to play, he talks about how he got hit and how he didn't at first think it was an actual bullet that hit him. And I'm sure that's because of the adrenaline and everything that was going on. And so let's go on with this. And later on, they do show the what they took out of his neck. They'll show the direct. They'll show where it went in.
And I think that's when I got hit. And it didn't really register at first because I thought, oh, that didn't hurt that bad. But I was thinking, okay, maybe a bullet hit next to us and a pebble came and hit me in the neck. And then I reached up to see, and my hand was just covered in blood. And I was like, okay, you might not make it, but let's just see what happens. And I was kind of poking around how bad is this thing? But I had so much adrenaline in me, I was couldn't really feel it. And I was like, okay, it feels okay.
I just remember.
So, I know what he's talking about. Back in 1976, I was in a head-on car crash, and at first I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I didn't think I was hurt at all. My glasses flew off, and I couldn't see over the hood because the hood was all smashed in. But I didn't realize I was injured, and I went to turn to get out of the car, and my body and my left leg turned, but my right leg completely stayed facing the front of the car, down by the gas and brake pedal. And so I was like, gee, that's weird. So I reached underneath my thigh and picked up my leg, and that's when I realized, after I picked it up, it felt like jelly. And then I realized I had a broken femur. And I didn't know I also had a broken hip at that time. So I kind of triaged myself a little bit and moved and turned where I would be facing out of the car. So after I got turned, I put my left foot up on the side of the car there, between where the door closes there, and I put my foot right there, my left heel, and then I began to feel excruciating pain in my left foot. And I thought, gee, I must have twisted my ankle. I didn't realize I had completely shattered my foot. So sometimes when you're in such an adrenaline rush, you have injuries that you don't think are that bad. It's later on when it takes a little while for the pain, the adrenaline to wear off, and the full force of the pain to come in. I knew when I couldn't move my leg, I knew it was broke, although I'd never had a broken bone in my life, but I knew it was broke. And I had some first aid training, so I knew I needed to be very careful with what I was doing. So since I was in the middle of moving anyway, I just went ahead and put myself facing out the door, because I knew they'd have to take me out, get me out of the car on a backboard or something. So I understand where he's coming from. At first he thought, oh, whatever that was that hit me must not have been a real bullet or something, because he thought it was just a pebble or something maybe that had ricocheted up and hit him. Okay, so let's go on with this. We're at, let's see, that's where he gets hit. And now we're gonna be where they're talking about running. And they start talking about bullets are everywhere.
Guys, that he seemed calm and that he was okay. So it kind of helped me a little bit, be like, okay, like we can get up and run. And when we did run,
Hi, Angela G.
I think it was like the fastest I've ever run in my life.
She outran me.
It was just kind of like everybody was just running in chaos, and then we were behind the
It was like a
pop-up tent kind of thing.
it was like a big
Tables.
canvas tent that was maybe 15 feet high, which had no
safe.
protection, but he couldn't see us, so
Yeah.
that was the protection.
But it felt like no matter where we went, there was still like bullets like everywhere.
But what we
Okay, so they're talking about, like, no matter where they went, it was complete chaos. No matter where they went, it just seemed like there were bullets everywhere. So now they're going to go on and talk about this lady. Her name is Angie. I can't remember now if she was a off-duty EMT or off-duty nurse. But anyway, she sees him and begins to assess his injuries and give him some first aid medical attention.
made it finally to the triage area, and that's when we met Angie. And she was an off-duty nurse who was there with her family. And first thing, she just laid me in the parking lot and started putting pressure on my neck. And she wouldn't let go until another emergency responder was able to take over. I thought it was just a graze, so I was trying to tell her it wasn't a big deal. But she said it was so close to some of my major blood vessels, she was worried it could be really serious.
Okay, so she looked at it and was telling him, it was a lot more serious. And, because you've got all these, you got major arteries and stuff all in there in your neck. So she got him on the next ride out, ride out to the hospital, she got him on it. So here's where he starts talking about being at the hospital and the doctor saying this was a miracle.
At the hospital, I discovered just how blessed I was. The doctors told me the bullet passed through my earlobe, entered behind my jaw, and traveled down my neck, stopping just a few inches below my collarbone, or above my collarbone, without hitting any major arteries or veins.
The doctors were saying that it was a miracle.
Okay. Yes, healed and whole in Jesus' name. Yep. So, let's go on to, listen to the whole thing, but he goes on to tell, and I'm not going to play it all just for time's sake and because I don't want a copyright strike. I think if I'm breaking it up like this and then, talking in between, I don't think, where we're like examining the different parts of this, that they can give me a copyright strike. I could be wrong, but I think that's the way I understood it anyway. But anyway, so you can see where the bullet went in, and he showed,
all this happened.
it showed where it went down his neck and everything. So then he talks on here for a while about how the Christian Healthcare Ministries, where he had his medical insurance through, how they helped him. He did get funding through the victims fund, but he still had $11,000 worth of medical bills that the victims fund wasn't covering, but the Christian Healthcare Ministries got it covered under them. Like I said, they paid on my heart attack, they paid out over $100,000 of medical bills. And our family was very grateful because we did not foresee a heart attack coming.
For all the people who prayed for me all across the country. Today, I'm completely recovered physically. I have full motion in my neck. I got the bullet taken out, and since then, I've had a few other medical expenses come up. It's just such a blessing to be a part of Christian Healthcare Ministries and have that added support.
So there you go. If any of y'all want to know more about Christian Healthcare Ministries, I can give you a link. I'm not doing no downloads right now, people. Go away. Well, of course, you can't get it to do what you want it to do. Okay, now I took a still shot. I pulled out a still shot of that bullet they took out of him. It'll take it a minute, but I will get up here. So I just want y'all to be able to see that. I pulled the steel shot. That's what they took out of his neck. So, no, Perkins, I'm not all that computer savvy. So, I don't know. What was it they were supposed to, that they were supposed to have been shooting 223 rounds? Was that what it was? Somebody remind me, it was 223 rounds? Because I don't have any of my notes or any of the documents here in front of me, and I'm not going to go hunt them down. That's what they said they took out of his neck. That's what he said they took out of his neck. That's what they gave him in that cup. It was a cup. Let me see if I can get it pulled back up in that video. You can see it on the video.
Or been comfort experience at Angie and to all the
CHM is a one.
got the bullet taken out, and since then
So there's the little cup they gave it to him in. I don't think I can zoom that in. Okay, God's Kingdom team said yes, 223 or 5.56. And only 8 of the 308 rounds fired. So I'm thinking it probably was 223. Lots of new names in here. God's Kingdom team. Repent. Repentin. Cute name. So that's from the video. It looks more silver there in that. But when I took a still shot of it and enlarged it, that's when it looked different. So I don't know if it's just camera stuff, but on here it looks silver. So y'all just
and
take
I've had a few other
take a
medical
look at it.
expenses come up. It's just such fully recovered physically. I have full motion in my neck. I got the bullet.
So anyway, that's what they gave him or showed him, I guess. That's what they took out of his neck. So this is a survivor story I hadn't heard before. And I, for one, I know that there's some of my friends, YouTube friends, that don't believe that anybody got shot or that it was a drill. And that's fine. I get along with everybody except for people who want to be rude to me. Okay? Those are the people I don't get along with well. And I can have a discussion with anybody that even has different viewpoints than me. But it's a matter of just being respectful. So if you come on my channel and you're respectful, I don't have a problem with differing opinions. I, for one, do believe that 59 people got killed and that there were over 500 people injured. That's my take on it. But do I believe the narrative? No. I do not believe the official narrative. And I believe that there are many people out there that are paid from MGM that are trying to shut down the rest of us that are still trying to investigate. I believe that there's stuff that happened that got covered up, that they don't want out in the public because it has to do with the terrorist attack. Now, that's my belief. I believe it was a terrorist attack and it got covered up. Does anyone hear an echo? Are y'all hearing me echo or something? Not no echoes going on, but you may be hearing other noises in my house. So anyway, that's basically what I wanted to show y'all was that video. I hadn't seen that, and it's a relatively new video. So I'll put the link in here after this uploads. It's called Las Vegas Shooting, a CHM member story, Jeff Christenson. So if you want to go Google it and find it, it was just put up April the 24th. So that's probably why it hadn't made its way around too much. But I just felt like it was a very interesting testimony. And like I said, I'm a member of the Christian Healthcare Ministries, and they've helped with my medical bills. My husband had an emergency gallbladder attack, and they paid for his ER visit and his surgery, all but I think it was just a few $1,000s they didn't pay. It wasn't very much, but they paid for nearly every bit of his medical, and I think it was over $45,000 for his ER visit, surgery, and one night stay in the hospital. So things add up. So if anybody's interested, I'll put a link to them in there too. And so if anybody's interested, you can check it out. Actually, if you want to sign up through them, they have a thing where if you use my membership number and you sign up, then after you've been a member for 3 months, then they give me a month free. So I've had several friends sign up and use my member number, and we ended up getting a month here and there free every time somebody new signs up. So you can even get, if you like it and you sign up through them, it's really affordable for anybody who doesn't have any insurance and they want to have something just to be, not have to pay that fine at the end of the year, which I'm hoping is going to go away. So anyway, anybody want to talk about anything else? I'm not really seeing anything else come up, but people discussing, is this a casing or is this a bullet, and how it traveled. So no, this wasn't this wasn't from that girl. This is from a man. His name is Jeff Christenson, and he was hit in the neck. And that's a bullet that they took out of his neck. It's a different story. It's a different bullet. I can't remember what the girl's name was, but I know which one you're talking about because I watched it not that long ago. This story just came out April the 24th. And this
taken out, and since then I've had a few.
This is the title of it. Las Vegas shooting, a CHM member story, Jeff Christenson. I think even if you just Google his name, you'll find it on there. But you guys who don't believe that nobody died, y'all just be nice. Be nice to these people, okay? Just be nice to them, please. Because I don't want to draw attention and then people be going in there slamming them, okay? Just be nice to the man so the story can stay up. We're not hardly getting anything new on Vegas. Yeah, 4E said hers looked like a casing and not a bullet. But when I saved this, I saved it a screenshot on my phone, and then I enlarged it. The coloring changed on it, and it ended up looking, then I emailed that picture from me. I emailed it to myself so I could have it on my laptop, and on my laptop, the same picture now looks brass. So I don't know if that's what happened. Let me pull it back up and I'll show you the I'll pull it back up. You can see the difference. Try to get out of the shot. I don't know why it takes so long for that photo to open. Okay, so see, look at it now. It looks more brassy. Unless I sent the wrong picture, and it was a picture of that girl's. I guess I could have sent the wrong one to myself, but I'll double check that. But this one here is from the video. And it looks more gray, silver looking. You see how it looks. I don't think there's any way to make it any closer. But anyway, y'all go pull it up. Smokey Perkins, did you like my haircut? Well, did you get one today? Because I hadn't seen it today. I gotta go check that out. So, what y'all been doing today? Anything exciting going on? I'm gonna turn this over to my hot tub, see if y'all can see. There's a squirrel out there. Let me see. Oop. He's on the edge of the hot tub there. There's doves been out there too. They like to get over there and drink the, there's two doves out there now too. The doves they're on the back side, and there's two more doves playing around the yard. This time of the year, we start getting all the doves out here, especially when it gets dove season. We get a whole bunch of them out here. And there's the squirrel running around. Smokey Perkins, you think I cash big checks? Yeah, we can have a pool party. Matter of fact, I could just walk out there. Why don't we walk out there? Since we're through talking about Vegas right now. It might look a little weird for a while I'm walking. Let's see if the animals will stay. Yeah, no. I'm scaring them all off. But you can hear all the birds out here. We've had many pool parties out here. Barbecues. The youth come over and have a youth day. There you go. A little bit smaller. You can see the whole backyard. It's a pretty good sized backyard out here. So we've had some pretty good parties. We had a leadership party, and we got one of those big blow up bouncy things for the kids. Because some of them had little kids. I haven't swam in it this year yet because it's not quite warm enough. It's getting there though. If it'll stay nice all week this week, it might be good by the end of the... It's not a real deep pool. It's only like 6.5 feet, the deepest part, but it's big enough to do exercise and swim laps in and have fun in. But it's not quite warm enough yet to get into. Yeah, at least 85 before I'll get in it, but 88's a little bit better. But that's the good thing about the hot tub. You can turn that thing on and get in it anytime you want to. And then we got this little fire pit thing over here. It's gas, so you can light that baby up. And if you get in the hot tub when it's pretty cool, then you can get by the fire pit and dry off while you're getting dried off enough to get in the house. Now, our rose bushes, we had these little mini dwarf rose bushes out here, these right here. They were supposed to have been cut back when the guys cut back all the rose bushes up front, and they missed these and didn't do them. And so now they're got so big and puffy that you can't even see. There's a little angel in there in the middle of that somewhere. There's a little angel in there that's supposed to have, there's a light shining on her. It's supposed to shine on her at night. But you can't even see her now because the little bushes got her all covered up. But yeah, this is our backyard in our little neighborhood. We live close to a river, runs right back. The house right here that you see, that one right there, there's a street over here, and then behind it is another, on the other side of the street, there's another row of houses. Well, back behind that's the river. It's just a big cliff that drops off down to the river, but we get a lot of wildlife. The wetlands, they've got what they call the wetlands out there, so we get a lot of different kinds of birds up in here. And we've had wild hogs, not in our yard, but our neighbors across the street had one in their backyard. But they actually had to have a trapper come out here a couple of years ago because there were so many of the wild hogs. They were just messing up everybody's yards and everything. So they trapped them all. Can y'all hear the birds? Hey, KL. Yeah, there's a river back there, and then that river runs in to Lake Waco. So we're at the top side of Lake Waco out in the country a little bit. My husband wants to move into town, but this is not even country enough for me. I want to farm in the country. My husband says that'd be too much work, so we're trying to compromise. Yeah, the yard got mowed today. We got these mowing guys that come, and the backyard's, you know, pretty decent size. So we got one of the biggest lots right here in this neighborhood, and they come with those big old machines that they stand up on and ride on. It didn't take them nothing flat. I mean, they're probably here 30 minutes at the most. Mow, weed eat, and blow the yard, and they're done. Truth in You says he wants to hunt a hog. Well, come to Texas. I can show you places to go hog hunting. I think they've even let people hunt from helicopters out here. I think they got to get a certain permit or something. But the guy who's our drummer at church, he hunts. He's a real big hunter. Him and his brother-in-law, they go hunting all the time. But he's got 10 acres on the other side of Waco. And he's always hunting out there. Because you got to have, in Texas, you got to have at least, you got to own at least 10 acres to be able to hunt on your own land. It's stupid, but he was going to make sure he bought him at least 10 acres. Yeah, she'd pay to watch that. For Truth in You to go hunting, hog hunting. I might even pay to see that myself. Maybe one day I'll go. I need to go shoot my gun. It's been a while. Maybe I'll take some video of us practice shooting. We'll go down here to the range. I bring gun. What does that mean? You gonna bring a gun? I bring gun? Y'all are crazy. See those flower pots out there? Right there, right there? I put those up there because we got kids that would come over here to swim, visit and swim, and they'd want to climb up on top of that thing and jump off. Well, I'm sure not made to be stood upon because it's a slab of cement with a plastic tube going through it with holes in it, and it makes a waterfall. And they're not on right now. They'll probably come on here in a minute. But anyway, I was afraid for them to get up there, and I didn't want them tearing it up and breaking it either. So I found those pots at H-E-B, which is our local grocery stores here. Found those pots and stuck them up there, and everybody thinks it came with those on there, but K.L. Witts. Henry Witt. Doesn't sound familiar to me, but my husband might know him. He knows, shoot, so many people in town. Before he was a pastor, we lived out about an hour drive from here, and most of his work was here in Waco. He was a house painter. He knew everybody, and they started calling him the painting preacher for a while there because he was trying to get the church going. He didn't get a salary, so he painted and did the church, and so they all called him the painting preacher for a while there. And then before he went full-time, before the church got where they could pay him full-time salary, then he retired from painting. But people all in Waco knew him, and I mean, he painted for the chief of police in Hewitt, and some of these real rich people. I mean, they had $1 million homes, $2 or $3 million homes, and they just hand him the keys and say, "Well, we're going to Venice. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and here's the keys," and just give him the keys to their house. They trusted him. So I'll ask him though tonight if he knows him. Okay, that's on the other side of Waco, KL, but I do know some people that live out there. I know where you're talking about, over where the Branch Davidians were. That's on the other side of where I'm at. But I know somebody who lives right out there, right by them, and then there's a ministry out there now. Used to be a little airport out there. I forgot what they called it. It's a little tiny little private airport out there, and it's not very far from where the Branch Davidians are. You can still go out there. They've got, people in charge of that, ex-surviving members of the Branch Davidians, and they do, I think they have little tours or something. They got like a marker set up. You can go out there and see the marker they got set up and everything. God's Kingdom Team. Shotgun through bus window, truth in you. Yeah, I actually saw that today on a video I was watching, and there was showing the shotgun through the bus window, and it looks like it came from the inside to the outside, the way, because it had the window shade pulled down. The way it was shot up, it looked like it was coming from the inside to the outside. Hi, Shady J. I was wondering where you were. We already went through the video, so you'll have to go back and rewatch that. Hale, you went to the Branch Davidian thing? Well, if you get back up this way, hit me up. I'll meet you for lunch or something. I met 44 Mag a while back. Met her at lunch. Me and some of my girlfriends went down to Austin for a girls' day out. So we met her. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? You'll have to go back and watch the video from the beginning so you can see the video I was showing and I was talking about. But I'll put the link to it in here. And so y'all can go back and check it out. For those of you who don't know, I do not have 1,000 subscribers yet. And I am live streaming with my phone. So I did some Googling and researching, and I figured out there's a way to do it without going straight through YouTube. You have to go through a third-party app. I hear you, Cheryl, on the exhausted part. We went on vacation, and you know you don't get any rest on a vacation, but we had lots of fun and went on a cruise ship. And then so I was rested up a few days from that, and then I had to spend all week getting ready for the women's retreat last weekend. Weekend before last, and it was awesome. But by the time I got back Monday, I couldn't hardly move for Monday and Tuesday. I was pretty much exhausted. So anybody wants to know what that app is, you just need to hit me up in a private message. I'm not going to say what the app is live on air, and I really don't want anybody else to either, because I don't feel like we should give YouTube any leeway since they want to be such jerks to us about that. So I'm not going to say the name of the app on here because I don't want them to figure out and start blocking it. Because that's what they'll do. They'll just block that app, or that app can't live stream to YouTube. So we had a wonderful anniversary. My husband bought me this gorgeous little necklace, little red heart in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was like a coral, inlaid coral stuff. Yeah, Shady J, I'm going to be quiet about what that app is. But, and if we be very quiet out here, maybe the squirrel and the birds will come back. There's one birdie. Where'd he go? Oh. I came out here one winter, and one winter morning I came out here, and the whole, this half over here of the yard was covered with redbirds. They were on the fences, just the big old fat redbirds. I guess they were eating bugs or something out of the yard, but I'd never seen so many redbirds at one place in my whole life. But you never know when you come out here what you're going to see. We've had raccoons. I think we've had a possum over there by the trash area. We've had a snake in the pool that it was in the thing that catches the trash. Well, Blake, I may have to call you now. See, I don't know how to do it on Android, and I think that's what you've got. I don't know how that app works on Android, but there's got to be, just here, Blake, Google the name of that app and Android. And there's got to be somebody who's made a video on it. So just Google it, Blake. Just Google it on YouTube. The name of that app that I sent you to, and Android. And see if you can find a how-to video. And that's how I figured out how to do it on the iPhone. So, and it says, I mean, they got two different versions. Ones that work on iPhone and ones that works on Android. So anybody can live stream. As long as you can you're not blocked from YouTube, from live streaming at all, as long as you're not blocked from no live streaming. Okay, else there's at least 10 apps you can use for Android streaming. So if you can't figure out mine, there's got to be another one out there somewhere. But that's what I do. If I don't know how to do something, I Google it. You know, I Google it, and I'll watch an app on how to do it. I'll watch a video on how to do it. I think I had a cow through my backyard. No joke. That's what 4E said. Oh my God. Ruined my glass by my back door and put a dent in our metal rain barrel. That, or it must have been a pretty big deer. Could have been a cow, I guess. God's Kingdom Team. Perkins, go live with Truth in You. Huge hoof marks. Couldn't have been just the deer's. Well, maybe not. I like how your app shows the live stream attendance count. Yeah, it shows how many I've got in here. Even if they're not all participating, it shows how many. You can set it, and you can move that and make it be in a different place. If I don't want my chat there, you can move it and put it in a different place. But by the time it all gets uploaded, I mean, it takes a long time to upload to YouTube. I've noticed that. And then when it first gets uploaded, you still don't see the live comments. It takes a little while before they show up on your YouTube, but it will eventually. Just takes a while. Speaking of Sasquatch, I went and watched the other day with my in-laws that were here. We watched that cartoon. It's a cartoon Bigfoot show called The Missing Link. That's what it's called, Missing Link. We went and watched that the other day. Us 4 grown-ups went and watched it. It was cute. It was really cute. Hey, True Seeker. Yeah, True Seeker. I found a app and a workaround so I can do live streaming again with my phone. See, the reason I do it with my phone, if I'm going to drive, I need my phone. If I'm going to do a live stream, if I'm going to drive. I drove to church Sunday morning, and a couple of people, Shady J and somebody else, I forget who it was now. Oh, JCP. They rode with me to church, but I couldn't get them to go in with me. But they came to the back door of the church almost with me. God's Kingdom Team. Perkins, do you still talk to 10 on the phone? He never called me. Guess he's afraid I'd talk to him about God or something. So he never tried to call me. What'd she say? Driving like Pastor Mo around these mountains. I can't see that. Wait a minute. You might run into a huge cow or hit 2 or 3 deer like me. No fault, though, for deer and car insurance. Yeah, I hit a deer. My car was about a month old. I hit a big old deer with my car. It did over $10,000 worth of damage to my BMW. But they fixed it just like new. Cheryl, Pastor Mo, I'd like to beat the hell out of 10 with the Bible. You're funny. I don't think he'd listen, though. I don't think it'd do you any good. Some people don't have a conscience. Yeah, Cheryl, tell us how you really feel. That's what KL said. Did we run all the guys off now? It's just us girls here chatting now? Shay J's going to be right back. I need to quit moving my chair around because it's making the picture move around. Y'all probably getting aggravated with that. I guess I ran all the wildlife off. I kind of want to get rid of that big old oak tree right there. That tree right there in the middle. It's a cedar tree. That's why I kind of want to get rid of it. There goes some birds. There's a whole bunch of them back in the back. There's a swing set back there. Let's see. Zoom in. Right back there, hidden back in there, right in there is a swing set. See it? A little swing. There's a bunch of birds. There's a bunch of birds all back there on it. Well, I wasn't in very good shape for a while after that accident. The 15-year-old kid without a driver's license pulled out in front of me. He pulled into 70-mile-an-hour traffic, hit me pretty much head on. My car was an older model car. That was back in 96, so they didn't make cars like they do now where the motor drops out of the engine when you have a front impact. So the motor got shoved up into the floorboard. So my left foot got crushed, my right femur got broke, and my right hip got broke. And because of those injuries, they wouldn't let me put either foot on the floor for 3 months. So for 3 solid months, I had to be in a hospital bed or a wheelchair, which was the longest 3 months I ever had in my life, I'll tell you the truth. Because I was not a sit-down, do-nothing person. And that's how I learned how to do website design. My sister brought me an old computer that was actually DOS, and I learned how to run it. So then I decided, once we got the insurance done, squared away on the car and the accident, we had about $10,000 left over, so I bought me a good computer, and then we invested in a little business, part-time business. But I sat there and taught myself during that time, just from reading the HTML codes. I taught myself how to design a website. And that's how a lot of things I've learned how to do on the internet. I go in, research it, and learn, and figure out how to do it, and then do it. So anyway, Mo has a machine gun simulator over her voice. Well, I didn't think I did. It's the cars out on, there's a highway not that far from here, a good sized road, and you can hear them. That's probably what you're hearing. Thank you. Thank you on my yard. We love it. We spend a lot of time out here. I'm going to fly out and do a bunch of electric for you. You know what? We finally had the electrician come today. Remember me telling you, Blake, about the electric problems? Well, he checked all the breakers, and he said there's nothing wrong with the breakers. So he's going to have to figure out, he said he may have to run new wire. And I'm like, do what? So it didn't blow out a breaker. It did something to the wiring in a section of the house. So they may have to run new wire. So I don't know what that's going to cost to get that done. But yeah, if I had you here, I bet you could do it a whole lot cheaper and maybe faster than I'm getting this electrician to get it done. Blake, I saw your mad video. But yeah, God works in mysterious ways, because if I'd never been laid up in a hospital bed for 3 months, I might not have learned the things I learned about a computer. I was too busy chasing around little kids back then, my house full of little youngins, to have time to learn that stuff. No, it is broadcast breaking up. True Seeker, did you see my mad video? I may need to do something with this to adjust the stream, because I noticed when I went back and rewatched the live stream I did the other day, it was like stopping and pausing and stuff in places that it didn't seem like it was doing that when I was recording it. And it wasn't, the live stream wasn't timing out, but when I played it back, I could tell it had done that. So I don't know if there's something that needs to be adjusted a little bit, but we'll get these live streams working good. KL, everything really does happen for a reason. Yep. It does. I can attest to that. Y'all seem like y'all are having a great time in there chatting it up. I think we need to just stick with it, guys, and just keep researching, because we're not quite done with this yet. I don't care who makes funny clown videos. All we need to do is just turn those videos in and block them and keep on going. Cheryl says that true things happen for a reason. I have some testimonies. Yeah, I got a bunch, but I'd rather hear some other people's testimonies. Tori says it's not bothering me enough to stop using the app if that's what's causing it. Well, I guess not in the bowls, but that bar that those bowls are sitting on, that has well, let me go turn them all on. I'm gonna set this down. I'll go turn it on. You can see how the waterfalls work. Hang on. See if I can get this to stay there for a minute. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, there you go. You see it now? So it makes a waterfall. It comes underneath that pole thing there. And there's a waterfall there. And there's a waterfall there. And you can make that overflow from the hot tub, and it makes a waterfall go down those rocks there. It's real relaxing to hear it. I didn't even see the bar between them bowls. Yep. So I put them bowls up there myself to keep kids from climbing up there trying to jump off of the crazy thing. Because it's just a piece of PVC pipe in the, like a prefabbed rock thing. God's Kingdom Team, I need to become a pastor. Well, I will tell y'all that my husband's salary did not pay for this. That much I'll tell you. That ain't how this house and pool came about. That's a big, long story in itself. So if you think you're going to become a pastor and get rich, it don't work that way. Unless you're somebody like Joel Osteen or somebody like that. I guess if you write enough books, you can make enough money being a pastor, but really, he made most of his money from being an author. Yep, Cheryl. God turned my life around when I came close to passing away by his faith and trust that I wasn't going to die. Yep, I'm right there with you. I've been there a few times. Yeah, God's Kingdom Team. You're talking about Joel Osteen and the other guy. What's his name? He's up around Fort Worth. I know who you're talking about. The guys wanting the jet. Yeah. Probably, if my husband wasn't such a giver, we'd have a lot more money than we do, because he gives money. He sees a homeless person, he gives them money. Somebody says they need gas money, he'll give them gas money. I don't care. He's that way. If we ever were to hit it big and have $1 million, he'd give most of it away. But that's why he makes a good pastor. But those of us on the finance board at church got to make sure he don't give it all away, because he likes to help people, which is good. You know, you should help people. And we do. We help people, but, you know, yeah. You got to be careful, though, Blake, because, I mean, we don't let the kids climb on the backside of this pool over there where those waterfalls are, because they will. They'll be trying to do jumps and flips, and there's some ledges underneath the water over there that you can, like ledges you sit on. And if they go trying to jump in over there, they can hurt their legs. So, yeah, I've seen it, God's Kingdom Team. I've seen the good pastors, and I've seen the bad pastors, and you know, things that God let us see, that so that we wouldn't be like them, you know. And you know, we try to be good, but I don't understand. Like we have a Sam's card at church, okay? And with the Sam's card, you go in there and you buy stuff for the church, and you don't have to pay tax on it. But now I can also buy personal things in there, which we do. But I don't do the tax-free option on that. I pay taxes on it if it's for personal use, okay? If it's for the church, we don't have to pay tax on it for church use. But I know of a husband and wife pastors team that personally, I know. And they'll go in there and they'll buy all their personal stuff and they won't pay tax on it. Well, that's not right, because that's not obeying the law of the land. I mean, basically, the church gets a tax. They don't have to pay tax, but on your personal stuff, you should. Stuff like that we've seen people do. We heard of a pastor in the small town we used to live in, and we knew somebody that was on his leadership, and then they quit, and they came and told us why they quit, because they found out they were only writing him a $200 or $300 check a month, and then the rest of it they were giving him Walmart cards, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of Walmart cards every month for his salary, and that's what he was using to go get his groceries and different stuff they needed and everything, because they didn't want to claim that income. There's enough tax breaks that pastors get. There's all kinds of tax breaks you get when you file your income tax, if you keep all your receipts being a pastor. And so, is the waterfalls making too much racket now? Probably the waterfall. I probably need to go turn them off anyway. It's hard to read the comments on here though. I'm gonna go turn the waterfalls off. See if that noise goes away. So see if the waterfalls turning off made the sound get better. Looks like y'all are having a good live stream chat in there. So did the static sound go away when I turned the waterfalls off? Probably makes a funny static sound on here, but it's really nice and relaxing when you're listening to it. See, there's where the angel is hid in the middle of where that little light is. Right there. There's an angel hid in there, but you can't see it because the rose bushes took over. I guess it was just the waterfalls. Now you're going to just start hearing the mosquitoes buzz around, which I'll have to go in soon because the mosquitoes will start attacking me if they like me for some reason. Yeah, Foree, you're right. Everybody has been on guard. And I'm sure, just because I went live, that there'll be some stupid clown video with my voice going on in it. You know what? I don't care. I'm just going to blow it off and keep on trucking. Yep, Cheryl, me too. Well, guys, I'm fixing to turn this off, so y'all say your goodbyes. Maybe somebody will do another live stream later tonight. I got to go in here and get some paperwork done that I'm behind on before I get in trouble from the big boss, Mr. Pastor. God's Kingdom team, yeah. I know. But, you know, what some people don't understand, though, running a church is like running a bigger version of your own house. You know, you still need to pay the electric bill, the water bill, the toilet paper bill, you know, all those bills that come with the church, you know. But there are some churches that overdo it, and the pastor gets an outrageous salary. We have people that work for us, taking care of our handicapped boys, that get paid more than me and my husband get paid. And I only get a part-time salary, so, because I only do part-time work, bookkeeping work. Yep, Truth Seeker, they can't silence us. Yay, that sounds good. A major TV media outlet is working on our non-narrative stuff for an upcoming series. Now, I don't know too many pastors, though, God's Kingdom, that needs a jet or a Lamborghini. Most of the time we fly Southwest, which is about the cheapest way you can go when we fly. Every once in a while we have enough United miles on something that we fly United. If it's overseas, we fly United. Yep, True Secret, that sounds good. So y'all keep up the good work, keep investigating, everybody keep putting videos out or doing live streams, and yeah, after my vacation KL, I kind of hit a slump, not wanting to make any videos. I purposely, didn't make any for a little while because I didn't want to mess with the clowns, but I'm just going to start blocking them. I don't know what else to do, but if we block them, you know, Paddock's autopsy was very interesting to them. It was a survivor I work with that passed that on to them. Well, that's good. So those 14 of y'all in here, y'all say goodnight. Say goodnight, Gracie. Love all you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great evening. If there's another live stream, I'll show up in it. Good night, y'all. Night, Blake, Cheryl, TS, KL, 4E. Who else is in here still? God's Kingdom team. You're welcome, Cheryl. Good night, y'all.